Most of them. Okay, so it's a mixed language. Okay, miss. Yeah. Okay. So yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, no problem. If you okay, one more question. One more question. Do you know any other programming language? If you do not know Python, do you know any other programming language? Okay, C language. No, no. Okay, little bit Java. Okay, no problem. Learning the Python, only then we'll move on to the data science part. Once we move on to the data science part, we'll come back to the machine learning now. Okay. After completion of the machine learning, then only we can move on to the artificial intelligence. So basically, AI is nothing but it's like a okay. So what I'll do is first of all, I'll make sure you understand what do you mean by AI. Then we'll move on to the basics of Python. Okay, I think that is better, right? So let us begin with the first question of today's class. What do you mean by AI? See, first thing, one second, let me just clear this out. Yes. So what do you mean by AI? Everybody knows that AI is nothing but artificial intelligence, right? But what do you mean by artificial intelligence? Let's understand. So artificial intelligence, to learn basically artificial intelligence, you require to know what do you mean by intelligence. So I mean, in simple terms, the human intelligence we can say, right? So what is a human intelligence? The human intelligence is nothing but an ability to understand, learn, and solve problems. Yes or no? Is ability to learn, understand, and solve problems. Now, this is nothing but the intelligence. Now, if I combine two words, that is artificial as well as the intelligence. Now, we already know what do you mean by intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, before understanding artificial intelligence, let us understand what are the different intelligences we know. So these are some of the these are some of the intelligence that we know. That is, let's say, musical intelligence, visual intelligence, interpersonal, naturalistic, mathematical, linguistic, intrapersonal, and kinesthetic. See, I want everyone to answer this question. Let's say there are two students in a class. Okay, let's say there are two students in a class, student one and student two. And let's say I'm their teacher. Okay, so there is student one, there is student two, and I'm their teacher. I will be asking them to read five questions. Okay, I'll be asking those students to read five questions. These students basically will take, let's say, one student will take 5 minutes, the other student will take, let's say, half an hour to study the same topic. But even though half an hour was given to him, he is not able to understand or not able to, tell me those five answers. But the student one is able to tell me the answers. So can I say student one is better than student two? Yes or no? I want everyone to reply in the chat box. Can I say student one is better than student two? Yes, I can say that. But can I say student two is not at all intelligent? Can I say the student two is not at all intelligent? No, you cannot say that, right? You cannot say that. Why? Why? Because student two might be intelligent in some other spaces. For example, he might be intelligent in music. He might be intelligent in, let's say, interpersonal, basically communicating with people. He might be intelligent in, mathematics, or let's say word smart. So such kind of intelligence is also matterable, right? It is not about just whatever we do in the classes, or whatever how much marks we score. Based on that, we cannot specify a person as an intelligent person or not. No, it is based on how they are good at what phases, or how they are good at what type of intelligences. So these are different types of intelligence that you have to understand. Now, exactly, artificial intelligence, it is not just one specific term we are talking about. This is the entire drive that is been going through from, let's say, last 5 years, right? You can see how drastically the human, whatever the intelligence has, artificial intelligence was there, how drastically it has been changed our lives. Usually we used to go to if I wanted to create a presentation, or if I wanted to create a question paper, what I used to do was I used to go to Google. I used to copy some stuff. Then I'll come back to the PowerPoint. Then basically copy paste everything I was to do. So this was very tough for me, right? Now what I will do, just write the prompt in ChatGPT, and everything is there in my fingertips. Now this is artificial intelligence, right? Okay, next. Now usually, okay, this is a disclaimer. Basically I do not take presentations. Okay, based on presentation, I will never teach you. This is the first class. That's the reason I wanted to introduce what you mean by artificial intelligence. But never in this entire session, I will never be taking the PowerPoint presentation anymore. Why I'll be doing this? Because presentation is only applicable whenever you want to understand some topic. But whenever we are trying to do some practical stuff, we are not using the PowerPoint. We are basically directly using the coding itself. Okay, then and there I'll specify what is the problem we are doing and what is the solution for this. So this is completely practical based classes. Okay, this is not about theory. This is completely practical, 100% practical sessions that we are going to take for the entire 60 hours. This is the first class. That's the reason I'm taking you. Making you understand with the help of PowerPoint. Okay. Now let's combine the artificial intelligence and let's understand what do you mean by AI now. See, predicting future isn't magic, it's artificial intelligence, and this was stated by one of the great computer scientists called as Dave Waters. Okay, he said predicting future isn't magic. We know that predicting future is, some astrologists or basically these people say that this will happen in your future, but those we do not know, right? It might happen, it might not happen, but artificial intelligence can predict the future based on whatever data we have right now, right? So that is, this is better than the some nonsense astrologists, right? Next, science and engineering of building intelligent machines are basically AI. Okay, next, we'll understand how the artificial intelligence will work. Basically, if the artificial intelligence has to work, what is the primary thing that you think is required for the machine? Can you tell me? I'll repeat the question. What is the primary thing for a machine? What is the primary thing for a machine to understand? Yes, exactly. The data is required. Yes or no? So can I say the data is very much important here? Yes, correct. What else is required? Okay, now you have the data, right? You have the data. Just by using the data, can you create an entire artificial intelligence machine? No. Yes, coding. But what kind of coding? Can you just directly write coding? No. You want some step-by-step procedure. Can I say, what do you mean by the step-by-step procedure? There is a specific term for step-by-step procedures to follow an instruction. Yes. What is that called? Yes, very good. It is an algorithm. Yes or no? It's an algorithm. So data, and based on the data, you are performing an algorithm. And based on the algorithm, you are creating an AI machine. So this is what we are understanding here, right? First of all, we are collecting the data. Based on the data, we are creating the algorithm. And based on the algorithm, we are basically creating an AI machine. So these are the three topics we have to understand very much. Now, with the help of one simple example, I will teach you how with the help of a data, how with the help of an algorithm, we can create an AI machine. See this. Everyone, if you see this, basically this photo, you're able to understand better things here. Let's understand what is going on here. First of all, can you see this? We have a cat here. We have a dog here. Okay. Now imagine you have an Excel sheet. Okay. You have an Excel sheet. In that first column, you have several pictures of cats and dogs. Okay. Again, I'll repeat. You have an Excel sheet. In that, in column A, you have several photos of cat as well as dog. In column 2, or basically column B, you have labels in the sense, if there is a cat photo, it will say cat. Okay. If there is a dog photo, it will say dog. Simple. In the first column, we have the cat and dog pictures. And in column B, it is a label of that particular picture. If it is a cat, then it is mentioned as cat. If it is a dog, it is mentioned as dog. Simple. Now this data will be fed into the model. Okay, this data will be fed into the model, and now the model will understand, okay, so this means cat, this means dog. Okay, it will understand the image recognition, that is called as image recognition, right? So in this, it will understand, okay, this, if the features are like this, then it is considered as a cat. Now if the features are like this, is a specific features, now this is considered as a dog. Now based on this, the model will be trained. Now once the model has been trained, now whatever data you give, for example, you can see this is a new data. Now the new data has been fed into our system. What it will do, it will understand, okay, this feature I already know, and it is a cat. So you can see in the output, it is saying that it is a cat. Yes or no? Now Where do you think you are using artificial intelligence in your daily life? I'll take an example of Google Photos. Why did you think I'll be taking the example of Google Photos? Can anyone tell me in the chat box? I'm taking an example of Google Photos. Okay. Now tell me why I'm taking the example of Google Photos. Can anyone tell me in the chat box? See, the main reason I'll be taking the example of Google Photos because if you open the Google Photos, you have a search button. Yes or no? You have a search button there. And if you click on that search button and if you simply type, let's say documents, right? If you simply just search for documents, or basically if you simply search for a pet, what it will do is it will just in the entire whatever data you have or whatever photos you have, based on that it will search for only pets. So it basically understands that the pet is nothing but dogs or cats or something else, right? So it will basically get that data and it will display it to you. Now this is the importance of artificial intelligence. So it will understand what is your command, right? It will understand what is your command. Yes, similar faces also. You can see if you click on this faces, that I mean that if the person is there in your Google Photos, the Google photo, what it will do, it will take that picture and it will create a new group. Correct. So if you click on that particular face, what happens is the similar photos regarding to that person will be present in that particular group. Now, again, this is an example of artificial intelligence or basically machine learning. So we have understood what do you mean by artificial intelligence, and we have also understood how the machine will understand and how it is being trained. Now we'll understand the very important term, that is the AI applications. Now I think everyone knows this, right? So ChatGPT is one of the applications. Yes, that is also called as NLP or natural language processing. ChatGPT is one of the greatest example here. Next, we know image and video analysis. Just now I give an example, right? For Google Photos. So it will understand the face of the person and it is able to create a groups. And this is how the artificial intelligence work. Can anyone tell me some other examples regarding the image and video analysis? Any other? Any other? Okay, I'll give you one more example. Have you seen Prime Video? Everybody used Prime Video? Yes, exactly. Face ID, very good. So Face ID is one of the example here, right? So everyone has used Prime Video, right? So if you click on the, I mean, if the movie is going on, whatever character is there in that particular frame, if you just click on it, you can see the cast. Have you seen it? You can see the cast there. Why is that happening? This is happening because of the artificial intelligence, because it is able to recognize their face, and that is the reason it is able to search from the Google and it is giving you the cast name. Now this is one of the example, right? Face ID or face recognition or face lock is one more example for image and video analysis. Next, healthcare. Now this is a very, very important term. One second, guys. Yes, this is a very, very important term because recently we have done some projects regarding this. Okay, regarding the machine learning. What type of project? Let me tell you. See, imagine you are a doctor. Okay, imagine you are a doctor. Now the situation is COVID. Okay, you cannot visit the patient or you cannot treat the patient. You are sitting at your home. Now what the patient will do is the patient will send you some data. Okay, the patient will send you some data, and based on the data, even though you're not a doctor, you can predict the person whether he is having a cancer or not. Now how can this be done? Yes, Janvi, very good. We have already done that, right? Breast cancer analysis. Now, this is what we have done basically. So, just by providing the data, right? Just by providing the data, you are able to understand whether the person is having the cancer or not. Now, you can understand how important this is, right? Even though we have not touched the patient, I mean, physically, even though we have not taken any test, just by having a simple data, the person is able to understand whether the person is having the cancer or not. Such a big milestone this is. Now this is where the healthcare, I mean AI in healthcare is very much important. Next, I think everyone knows this, right? Why I have taken this particular example of autonomous vehicle and why this particular car? Can anyone tell me in the chat box why I have taken this particular car and why it is called as autonomous vehicle? Exactly, it is a self-driving car or auto-driving car. What do you mean by that? This means the car can be driven by itself, right? So there are some different terms. For example, I mean, self-driving. I mean, there are some different levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. So level 0, I mean, there is something called as level 0. Level 0 means the person or the car basically doesn't have anything. Okay, it doesn't have its brain. It will be basically ridden by the driver itself. For example, let me take the example of Maruti 800. It doesn't have anything. We have to start by ourselves. We have to put the gear and basically we have to drive. Now, this is level 0 where every single thing has to be done by the humans. There is something called as level 1. Now, in the level 1, what happens is the car can be driven like this. For example, you have something called as a cruise control, right? You have something called as a cruise control where the car will be driven, but we are supposed to catch hold of the steering, right? Even though it is in the cruise control, we are supposed to catch hold of the steering. But what about level 2? Level 2 is something called, you can see in the recent cars, we have something called as level 2 ADAS, right? Level 2 means it can, whatever the cruise control is there, it can be increased or decreased by the system itself. System in the sense, the car itself. Okay, it can be driven. The system can be driven, or the car can drive by itself, but still, it cannot be driven. Completely driven by itself. The human intervention is required still here. But what about level 3? Level 3 is Tesla, basically. Level 3 is Tesla. Level 3 in the sense, it can start by itself. It can be, it can ride by itself. It can go anywhere. It can park anywhere. Anything can be done by the system. But still, the level 3, it requires the driver. Even though driver doesn't do anything, it requires the driver because of the safety concerns. But what about level 4 and level 5? Here, no steering, okay, no clutch, no brake, no accelerator, nothing is there. Based on just the machine we are basically driving. Okay. Now, I think Tesla has done this already, right? It has something called as a cyber cabs. In the cyber cabs, it doesn't have the steering itself. You can see, you can just open the YouTube and there is something called as cyber cabs, and you can understand how this is very much advanced. There is no steering itself. Now, this is level 4 and level 5. Okay. Yes. So much we have understood about an autonomous vehicle and how it is driving by itself. Again, it is artificial intelligence. Next. Okay, what do you mean by this? Recommendation system, and I have taken the example of Netflix. So why exactly I have taken Netflix, and what do you mean by recommendation system? Anyone? Okay. Recommendation system. Yes, Monisha, very good. Hari Prasad, exactly. This is what yes, very good. Imagine you are watching a horror movie. Okay, imagine you are watching a horror movie. Now, you have watched the entire horror movie, and at the last, let's say it will be having some 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, basically, it will keep on displaying you the cast name or production name. Everything will be displayed. But soon after that, one more recommendation will come, and that recommendation will be a horror movie once again. Why it does that? Can anyone tell me why it does that? Why Netflix will recommend you one more horror movie? Because as you basically spend more time, okay, if you spend more time in Netflix or basically any other any other platforms, they will make money out of it. Let me tell you how. Okay, I have a simple question to you. Okay, even though today's class I'm taking a lot of time to explain some stuff, I'll not mind, because from the tomorrow's class we'll begin with the directly coding. Okay. Okay, I have a very simple question to you. The question is, how does Instagram make money? Very simple question. How does Instagram, or basically how does YouTube make money? Okay. No, it is not views. It is not just videos or reels. No, it is just by ads. It is just by ads. Just by providing the ads. Yes, just by ads. These companies, these tech giants, are basically creating a lot of money. Now, if you just go to the Play Store, okay, if you go to the Play Store, if you go to the App Store, you can just download the Instagram very freely. You don't have to pay anything, right? It is free of app. free app basically. But still, Instagram is making money because of you. How is that possible? Because let me tell you. For example, if you're watching a reel, okay, if you're watching a reel, let's say you're watching a workout reel, basically. You're watching, and you're watching. Do you see a pattern where if you see one workout reel or one bodybuilding reel, what happens is if you basically spend more time or spend the entire reel, the next reel will be the same thing, or basically the suggested reel will be the same, basically the workout reel itself. Now if you scroll, what happens is you are basically, yes, the kind of reel is exactly the same thing, because Instagram knows that, okay, this is the reel that you're interested in, right? So in between they will put one workout related ad, right? They will put one workout related ad. Now that ad company, whatever the ad is there, that company, whatever company has been promoted that ad, that company will be paying Instagram to put that ad in your feed, right? Because Instagram knows that you are into workout, and that is the reason that particular reel or particular ads has been targeted to you. Now this is how the recommendation system will work, correct? Yes. Next, not least, virtual assistant. Now everyone knows what is the virtual assistant, right? Can anyone tell me what are the different virtual assistants we know? And one request to everyone: kindly do not message in the personal chat. Kindly message in the main chat. Okay. Yes, there are some. Okay. Can you tell me what is a virtual assistant of Apple? Virtual assistant of Apple. Okay, Siri. What is a virtual assistant of Google? Google Assistant or Gemini, correct? What is the virtual assistant of Samsung? Samsung? Yes, it's Bixby, right? It's Bixby. Which is the virtual assistant of, let's say, okay, all three are done. Okay, Alexa is there. One is Amazon is there. That is Alexa. Okay, so these are some of the virtual assistant. Now, why it is called as a virtual assistant? Can anyone tell me? Sorry. Virtual assistant is nothing but it can do some predefined task. It is not just very much intelligent that can do everything. No, it is able to do some predefined task. For example, let's say, hey Google, and call such and so person. So it is able to do that. Hey Google, let's say I am supposed to create an alarm, right? I'll say, hey Google, set an alarm for 7 o'clock. So it will do that. So some predefined task will be basically done by the virtual assistant. Why? Because this virtual assistant is been trained in such a way that if you hear this keyword, for example, hey Google, right? This is the keyword that is being trained to that particular model, where it can recognize that his hey Google, and it is been what is that activated. Same applies for Siri. Same applies for Bixby, right? Everything will be done as such things. Okay, so we have understood applications of AI, and last will be the AI related technologies. Now we have three AI related technologies. One is artificial intelligence that we have learned just now. Machine learning is one more, and deep learning. Now deep learning is a very very vast topic, and we are not heading there. Okay, we are not heading to deep learning. We are only focusing on two AI related technologies, that is artificial intelligence as well as machine learning, because deep learning is still in the it is not perfect. It is still in the construction stage, we can say. Okay, so let's understand artificial intelligence and let's understand machine learning, but not deep learning. So if you see the difference, if you see the definitions of AI, you can see engineering of making intelligent machines and programs. But if you see machine learning, you can see ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Now, I have a very simple question to you. Is creating an artificial intelligence project easier, or is machine learning project easier? I'll repeat my question. Is artificial intelligence project easier to create, or machine learning project is easier to create? Okay, most of them are saying AI project is easier, right? No, it is not easier. Okay, no, it is not easier to create a AI related project. it is always easier to create a machine learning related project. Let me tell you why. Okay, let me tell you why. Because in AI, let me just go to the next one, next slide. 1 second. Yes. In AI, first thing that you require is data. I mean, sorry, the problem is required. Okay. In AI, first of all, we are finding out the problem. Once we found out the problem, next we want data related to that problem. Okay. Now imagine we have found out the data. After finding out the data, now we are supposed to build an algorithm. Okay. After building an algorithm, next step is to create a model. Okay. First, we are finding out the problem. After finding the problem, we are creating the data. I mean, we are getting the data. If you get the data, you are starting with the algorithm. Once you create the algorithm, you're creating the model. Once you create the model, you're training and testing the model. And once the training and testing is done, then the machine is able to predict something in the future. Okay. Now, these, how many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps are there. But what about machine learning? In machine learning, we have a problem. Yes, exactly like AI, we have the machine learn in the machine learning also, we have a problem. But after getting a problem, exactly like AI, here also we are supposed to get the data. But after getting the data, we are not supposed to go to algorithm, or we are not supposed to create an algorithm directly. We are creating a model. Why we are creating the model directly? Because already someone has been created this algorithm for you. Okay, already someone has done this algorithm for you, and basically you are using it. That is the difference between AI as well as machine learning. Machine learning, in the sense, you are basically stealing someone's work. In a simple words, you are stealing someone's work. Okay, so AI, whatever the algorithm is there, that algorithm you are stealing from them, and basically you are using for your own model. Okay, and once the model is done, your training and testing and basically prediction. Now, this is the steps for machine learning. So you can see the difference. In AI, we have 6 steps. In machine learning, we have 5 steps. So you have the shortage of algorithm. Okay. But what about deep learning? What about deep learning? Now, I had a question where I told you what is the difference between AI and AI and ML, that is machine learning, right? AI means which is easier to create a project. AI is, I told you, machine learning is easier. But if we are able to create a deep learning project, okay, if we are able to master deep learning, then you can see what is the reduction of steps. What is the reduction of steps? We have a problem, just like AI, just like machine learning. We have a problem, but we don't have data, we don't have model, we don't have training and testing. Directly, it is prediction. Okay, just by providing the problem, it is able to predict the future based on that problem. Okay, just you have to find the problem. That's it. But see the AI, see the deep learning. AI, we have so many steps. Where did this so many steps go? These steps are being implemented here, but the machine is so intelligent where it can find its own data, it can create its own algorithm, it can create its own model, it can train and test, and it can basically predict. Okay, so this is the difference between AI, ML, as well as DL, that is deep learning. So we have understood the basics of artificial intelligence. I hope everything is very much clear, right? Now I require everyone. If you have everything, whatever we are doing is completely practical, and every single code you are supposed to do by yourself. Okay, I'll be teaching you how to do it, but everything you are supposed to do by yourself. So that is the reason, if you have laptop, kindly join in the laptop anymore any from the next class. Otherwise, make some, if you don't have it, kindly make sure you are arranging for 2 months. Okay, yes, you're supposed to do, you are first of all going to the Chrome. Okay, now here you are supposed to open your Google Drive. Okay, kindly open your Google Drive. Is that clear? Once you create, once you open the Google Drive, I'll tell you what are the steps you're supposed to do. Once you open the Google Drive, you're clicking on new, you're clicking on more, you're clicking on connect more apps. I'll repeat once again. You're clicking on new, you're clicking on more, you're clicking on connect more apps. So if you click on it, what happens is it will go for I mean, it will go to Google Workspace, and here you're searching COLAB, collaboratory. Okay, collaboratory you're searching for, and just click on it. The first search that appears here, that is this one, collaboratory team. This is what you're supposed to install. I have already installed, so I don't need not install once again. So just install this. Once you install, you're supposed to click on new once again, more once again, and now you can see Google Collaboratory here. Okay, I'll repeat the step once again. Please make a note of it. If you have a phone or something, kindly make a note of it. You're clicking on new, you're clicking on more, you're clicking on connect more apps. Go to Google Workspace. It will go to Google Workspace, and you're supposed to search for COLAB, collaboratory. And the first search that appears, you're supposed to click on it. And this is what you're supposed to download. Okay, basically install. Okay, this is what you're supposed to install. I have already installed, so it is showing me uninstall. So once it is installed, what happens is, again you're supposed to go to new, again you're supposed to go to more, again, I mean, now you can see there's something called as Google Collaboratory here, right? So just click on it. So once you click on it, it will land you into the Google Collaboratory interface. Now this is the interface that you're gonna work out for the entire 2 months. Okay, we are not changing any. We are not changing. I mean, for the machine learning also we are using the same. The data science also we are using the same. Even for the AI we are using the same. Just for statistics we will be telling you what you're supposed to do. Rest for everything will be using the same collaborative link. Okay. Now this is what the interface will look like. Okay. The first thing what you're going to do is changing the name of the file. So let me change this as ML. Okay, it is first DS, right? So DS/ML/AI. Since this is my first batch 1. And since the stream first batch, so I'll be writing this as batch 1. Let me just bookmark this. Okay, done. Okay, now this is what the interface will look like. So I'll teach you some of the basic stuff that you're supposed to do here. Now this is where you're supposed to write the code. Okay. Now imagine you are writing a code and you do not know what is this code about. So what I'll tell you is write a text here. Okay. So you have two things. If you just scroll here, it will. I mean, you can see one is code, one is text. So if you just click on text, the text box will appear where you can write your own text that will make learning easier for you. For example, I'll be teaching you the code of machine learning. So I'll be mentioning here machine learning code. Okay, something like this, where you can write your own comments, just like this. And this is where you write your code. For example, if I want 2 plus 2, okay, you can see okay, first of all, it will take some time to connect. Okay, here you can see connecting, right? So it will connect to your Google Drive. Only then you can make use of it, because every time you open it, it will connect to your Google Drive, and whatever is being saved, that will be appeared here. Okay, whatever you do, basically it will be saved automatically. You don't have to do anything. So let it connect for the first time. For the first time, it might take some time to connect. From the next time, it will be very much quicker. Okay. As you can see, the code has been run. That is 2 plus 2. That is 4. This is the basic I have done. From the next class or tomorrow's class, we'll understand the basics of it. Okay. For 2 to 3 classes, I'll be doing some basics that is required for machine learning, that is required for AI, that is required for data science. And once we are understanding the basics, then we can move on to the important topics. Okay. Yes. So for today, I'll be leaving you early because now it is 7